networks of...
The United Nations? Very well as can be expected. It's an organization that's tremendously constrained by its member states in terms of wanting the organization to work effectively or not, and it's somewhat dependent on that. But no, the organization is at the forefront, especially of putting women first. And we just had this Millennium Development Summit meeting in September, less than a month ago. And it was interesting to see people, UN agency spokespersons, governmental spokespersons, come forward with a priority focus on women in development. Itself? Well, it's been a long-standing situation where the role of women in the United Nations was an issue in terms of actually empowering women within the organizations themselves, but I think that's pretty much resolved, at least to a large extent. And again, it is the United Nations, I think, that is taking the forefront now with regard to the empowerment of women, making certain that women have the skills, have the capacities it takes to take charge of their own futures as individuals, but importantly also as collectives. From my perspective, it's fairly clear. That is, there's growing evidence, especially people who work in the field, as well as people who just are trying to make development work, that it does not happen without women. Also, though, I want to say one thing that you didn't ask. It's the education of young boys, young men. Because as long as they fall back into traditional culture and traditional norms about the way they treat women, it's going to be very, very difficult for women actually to be empowered. So it's an educational project that involves not only empowering women with the capabilities, but also from the time young boys are very, very small, getting them to understand the value of women in society, as well as to have them give the rights that women should naturally have.